and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, considering the sell-off in the US markets that we had seen on Friday night and what the Gift Nifty had suggested right before markets opening yesterday, what we have actually seen as a close on the Nifty yesterday, any bull would take it with both hands and more. The index recovered nearly 200 points from the lows of the day to end above the mark of 24,900. Although it could not manage to retest the 25,000 mark, it definitely shut at the high point of the day, giving the bulls a good night's sleep after many days. Now, the Nifty Bank had definitely come to the Nifty's rescue as of yesterday, and we've actually seen in these tricky situations, the Nifty Bank definitely puts its hands up. Apart from this, it was the FMCG majors like HUL and ITC that contributed to the upside on the Nifty or the recovery in trade as well. Now, as we move further into trade today, we also have a positive handover from both the US and the Asian markets. Remains to be seen how soon will we be able to come back and retest those highs of above 25,000. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shail.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mangalwar hai to mangal hi hoga. Yesterday the Nifty closed at its day's high 24,936, almost there. The high was 19,950. So the pent-up demand after 4 days of corrections was pretty good. 84 points higher, and as Sakshi has pointed out, it was the Bank Nifty that saved the blushes for the Nifty. A very strong move. A close above 51,100 is what we saw at about a 540 point uptick. Now, today's cues from the overseas markets are pretty good, and there is a lot of positivity that is coming from many segments. Let's just look at the Nifty and the Bank Nifty for a moment from the normal chart that you see on a regular basis. So the Nifty closed above its 20-day exponential moving average. That's a very big positive. It essentially shows that on the daily chart, the bulls are back in control after a correction from 25,333 to 24,760, which was the monthly support on the pivot system. There was a bounce. That bounce was very well protected by the bulls, and the index closed above about 190 points from the day's low. So that is a very critical thing, and most likely this rally is likely to continue today and in the coming days. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, a test of the 100-day exponential moving average for the Bank Nifty, and then on it reclaimed the 20-day exponential moving average. So that rally was fairly substantial. Stocks like ICICI Bank, stocks like Axis, Kotak, IndusInd Bank, SBI, HDFC Bank to some extent participated very well, and it was the Bank Nifty that got sense back into the market as far as the bulls were concerned. Now let's look at what beyond from this level. As we all know, this is a week of IPOs, Bajaj Housing, Cross Limited, and of course Italian Tires are open for subscription for the second day, and another one, P.N. Gadgil Jewellers, opens up for subscription today. So a lot of money, a lot of hope and enthusiasm is moving from the secondary markets into the primary markets, because earnings from primary markets in a short span of 7 days from the opening of the issue to its first day of listing are phenomenal. So that's the reason why you see volumes as far as secondary markets are concerned, they are dramatically low. As also, we'll keep a lookout on sectors that have shown immense strength. No surprise there, it's the FMCG space. I'll request the PCR to fire the long-term charts of ITC, Hindustan Unilever and Colgate. ITC and Hindustan Unilever have joined the ranks of performers, posting record highs, and these are the two stocks that we are tracking since Friday's close. They've given stunning set of numbers. As far as the last 2 days is concerned, rally is likely to continue. Now comes the most important part, which is the GST Council meet, from which lots of positives and a few negatives have emerged. We'll look at a favorite stock that Business Today has been recommending via analysts. It's BKG Foods. The GST Council has decreased the level of GST tax on namkeen from 18% to 12%. That's a very positive for BKG Foods, which also has doubled over the last 6 odd months or so. Also keep an eye out on Pratap Snacks. This stock has corrected from 1400 rupees to 850 levels. Probably this is the time to look at a potentially SIP kind of a mode for Pratap Snacks. We'll discuss both these stocks a little later. While this is the positive for the foods industry ahead of the festive season, there is another development on the pharma side. Although this was known, drugs that help fight cancer, they have seen their GST reduced from 12% to 5%. Therefore, Biocon, Natco Pharma, Abbott Labs, Elchem are some of the stocks that Sakshi and I will be keeping track of. Now, the not so good news. Remember, the National Highways Minister, Roads and Transport Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari had appealed to the Finance Ministry to cut down the GST on health insurance premia. This was about 2 months ago, and we had seen a very sharp build-up of long positions in stocks such as HDFC Life, ICICI Pru Life, ICICI General Insurance, SBI Life, ahead of this potential change. Well, the GST Council has delayed this decision and in turn given this to a group of ministers. So you will see profit booking happening in all sorts of stocks, including the government insurers NICL and GIC Ray. All of them were in enthusiastic mode over the last 1 week or so. Apart from that, I have my eyes on the weak sectors, which is the PSUs. Across the board, selling has been witnessed despite a very strong uptick in the markets yesterday. So oil marketing companies and in particular ONGC will be under pressure. Look at crude oil at about below $80 a barrel. This is not providing any relief to Oil India and ONGC, so keep an eye out on these. But nothing much coming out from other asset classes. All of them are quiet. Gold, US 10-year bond yield, dollar index, and of course crude oil. So this is what we have for you, ladies and gentlemen. At Business Today, we'll be doing a series of interviews with at least 3 IPO companies who have their issues floated: Cross, P.N. Gadgil, and over a period of time Tiolin Tires as well. Stay tuned with us, but let's go back to Sakshi. She'll give you a cue on what's happened in the US markets as far as the strong close is concerned, and of course we are now getting into the week where the US Federal Reserve will definitely cut interest rates on between 15th and 17th of September. Only the quantum matters. Sakshi, what are the cues coming in from Wall Street?
Well, all the 3 US stock indices surged by over 1% overnight, with the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones ending a 4-session losing streak, bouncing back from their biggest weekly percentage losses as well since March of 2022. The tech-heavy Nasdaq also staged a sharp comeback and ended with gains of over 1.1% as well. All the 3 indices were up between 1.1 to 1.2% in the trade overnight. Now, apart from this, the US crude levels, they inched higher, 1.5% up to end at $68.7 a barrel. Brent settled at about $71.8 a barrel, up by about 1.1%. And we've also seen the gold prices pair some of the gains, but they held their ground as investors awaited the inflation data. So spot gold has added about 0.4% to $25.05 an ounce as well. We've seen the strong showing overnight in the US, also driving Asian markets in the morning trading session. So Japan's Nikkei was up by about 0.5%. It's now inched higher to about 1%, so strong gains coming in on that. Even the topics was up by about 0.6%. Australia's ASX 200 has gained about 0.7% in trade. South Korea's Kospi is also up by about 0.17%. Hang Seng is up by 0.3% as well. Although the Gift Nifty is, looking at a tepid start for today's trading session, but we will be probably looking at an inching of above 25,000 mark again in today's trading session. Overseas investors, they've turned net buyers of the Indian equities after being net sellers for 2 consecutive sessions. FIIs have mopped up equities worth about 1176 odd crores. Domestic institutional investors have stayed net buyers for the 6th consecutive session. They've purchased equities worth about 1757 odd crore rupees. Now let's look at some of the stocks. Some have been highlighted by Shail already. So Pharma stock is something that you should be keeping a keen eye out on, since the GST rate on cancer drugs, namely trastuzumab, deruxtecan and nivolumab also have reduced from 12% to 5%. So Abbott India, Zydus Life Sciences, Alchem Laboratories, Cipla, Biocon, AstraZeneca Pharma, these are the stocks that are likely to be impacted by this. Snack making companies will be in focus. GST rate has been reduced from 18 to 12% on namkeen. So you see Pratap Snacks, BKG Foods International, Gopal Snacks, they will all be impacted, and you can see them today. Bharat Seeds will be in focus because the GST rate on car seats has been increased from 18% to 28%. So keep in mind that one as well. PNB Housing Finance, the board has approved the issuance of non-convertible debentures up to 2,500 crores on private placement basis in tranches over the next 6 months. So keep an eye out on that stock too. GMR Airports Infra will be in focus. It signed share purchase agreement with Fraport AG Frankfurt Airport Services Worldwide to acquire 10% equity stake in Delhi International Airport for $126 million. Keep an eye out on that too. Ahluwalia Contracts has bagged about 2 orders worth 1,307 crores from Signature Global Business Park and Signature Global Homes for group housing project as well. Sona BLW has raised 2,400 crores via QIP. From the defense space, keep an eye out on HAL. The Ministry of Defense has continued to talk about more orders that will be flowing in for the company going forward from here. We've also seen office space solutions that will be in focus. The company is selling its facility management division as well. So keep an eye out on that too. Hero Motocorp will be in focus. Ather Energy, an associate of the company, has filed draft red herring prospectus with SEBI. The IPO will consist of fresh issue of equity shares aggregating about 3,100 crores along with an offer for sale of 2.2 crore equity shares by a certain existing and eligible shareholders of Ather Energy. So keep an eye out on that too. Apart from this, we'll also keep an eye out on Suzlon. The group has announced that it's bagged India's largest wind energy order from NTPC Green Energy Limited. So keep an eye out on that too. HD Infra Engineering has said it secured a 781 crore rupee contract of the Ministry of Road Transport for upgradation of NH47. So these are some of the stocks that I'm going to be keeping a keen eye out on, Shail.
8:44, ladies and gentlemen. We are now planning our day as far as Tuesday is concerned. Shortly, we'll be joined by Mr. Dharmesh Kant, Head of Equity Research at Cholamandalam Securities, and a little later, Kunal Parar, Vice President for Technical Research at Choice Broking, will be joining us. This is as good time as any to look at outperformance that is coming in from the entire FMCG space. I'll request the PCR to fire stocks such as United Spirits, such as Godrej Consumer Products and Dabur. These were the stocks that were the top gainers in trade yesterday. The entire FMCG pack is doing fantastically well, and it's led by the king itself, Hindustan Unilever. So this is something that you need to notice as far as moves are concerned, because this happens ahead of the festival season, and more importantly, you also have the tailwind which is coming in from this cut in GST as far as the snacking industry is concerned, in particular namkeen. If you look at the 5-day change in this particular sector, you have Marico up 5%, you have Berger Paints up 4.2%, Hindustan Unilever, as I was pointing out, up 4%. In fact, Sakshi, I think this day we'll focus on the paint stocks, Berger, Asian, Kansai, and if you remember, about 3 days ago, there was a block deal on Indigo Paints. So given the festive season and of course the sunset of the monsoon, you will see paint stocks returning. That's why you have a record high in Pidilite, you have a strong move coming into Asian Paints, and of course, who can forget Berger. Dabur is up 3.3%, and of course, you need to see this in conjunction with the rise in open interest as well. For Hindustan Unilever, the open interest is up 3.4% over the week, for Berger 3.8%, and for Bata 11.8%. So this is a sector that we are looking at in grave detail, and this is something that is working pretty well as far as markets are concerned. Sakshi's marked Pharma. Let me just give you a bit of details. Pharma, as we know, over the last 2 months has been in spectacular shape. We've tracked Laurus Labs 4% higher over the week, a strong move coming into Biocon 4.2% over the past 5 days. Syngene has added 3% compared with last Tuesday. Alchem and Metropolis. So these are the stocks which in the past 5 sessions have shown tremendous traction on the long side. Sakshi.
Let's also look at some of the brokerage houses reports that have come in this morning. So Jefferies is overweight on banks. They believe it's a turnaround time for banking stocks. Potential softening of broader banking regulations can turn around fortunes for some of these banks. They also believe potential negative impacts of rate cuts to be more than offset by easier liquidity and easier banking regulations. That's what they have said in their report. We have several other specific stocks on radar. So Jefferies has given a buy rating on Axis Bank with a target price of 1500. They believe the management meeting takeaways have indicated credit costs will normalize. They also prefer NIMs over growth. They felt reassured that surge in credit costs in Q1 can normalize even as banks' conservative provisioning policy on unsecured loans upfronts the credit costs right there. On ICICI Bank, there is a CLSA report with an outperform rating and a target price of 1500. It's their top pick within the private banking space. They believe it's well placed on deposits, does not expect any cost of deposits to rise materially. Rate cut would only result in temporary NIM compression and not guiding any cost to income ratio level as well. Apart from this, we have several other brokerage houses reports. So an SBI Life Incred has come out with a report upgrading the rating to add from hold with a new target price of 2150 on SBI Life. They believe margins are at bottom. Risk reward is favorable. New surrender norms to have limited impact, and the value of new business trajectory will remain healthy, and banker channels to also hold the key to growth going forward from here. On Ambuja Cement, CLSA has come out with a report. Underperform rating at a 570 target. They believe cost savings due to high renewable usage, captive coal and lower lead distances. They also gain capacity market share through organic and inorganic route. That's what they have mentioned. Suzlon is on the radar of Morgan Stanley. They have an overweight rating right here with a large order win coming in from NTPC. They've given a target price of 73.4, and they believe there is enough project scope as far as supply of turbines and commissioning and O&M projects are concerned as well for the company. On GMR Airports Infra on the news, we have a Jefferies report with a buy rating with a 106 target price, whereas Kotak has a sell rating with a target price of 74 right now. Remember, FMCG has come back into the focus, and Goldman Sachs has a report on Marico. They have a buy rating and a target price of 715. They believe that the management has reiterated their expectations of growing India business in double digits starting FY25. So those are some of the reports that we have to keep an eye out on. I think it's time to welcome Dharmesh Kant. He's the head of equity research at Chola Securities. He's now with us. Warm welcome to you, Dharmesh ji, and thank you so much for taking the time out as well. Do tell us, how are you looking at the entire market setup? On the one hand, there's a lot of underlying fear that there could be a big impending correction that we could be looking at, especially once the rate cuts are announced. It could be a global phenomena and led by banks. On the other hand, there is a lot of liquidity that's busting in into the secondary market as well as in the primary market. Look at the kind of oversubscriptions that we are seeing just within few hours of the IPOs getting launched. How are you looking at this dichotomy?
Yeah, good morning, Sakshi. Good morning, Sailji, and to all our viewers. See, the narrative which you just gave us, it has been there for last 6-7 months. So every, the move of this market has been suspected with a correction coming into play, which has not materialized. To my mind, valuations are definitely being stretched. No doubts about that. I haven't seen in the last 20 years such kind of a valuation multiple being playing out and holding with more buying traction coming into the play. What has this market is purely on the steroid of liquidity, and liquidity is morely sentimental, psychological, or perception based driven factor. It's a higher disposable income which is there, which is being deployed into the market as of now. This trend is likely to be there. There's no fundamental thesis to liquidity. The only thesis is that you have a more disposable income and you're looking at margin of safety and a higher returns. As of now, none of the traders or investors have faced any crisis kind of situation in this market for last 1 year. And that is what has, emboldened the emotions and the strength of the confidence is there. This will keep on driving the market. Any correction, see, even last week, US market corrected more than 5% on the index level. I mean, S&P, Dow, Nasdaq was down more than 5%. We were down only 1.5%. So that is the texture of our market. It's pure domestic market. I think till Diwali time, that is on the first week of November, when all these events will play out, the Q2 earnings will play out, the FOMC related thing will play out, the US election will play out. Till that time, the texture will remain. It will be a buy or dip kind of a market. I don't see a major correction coming into the play, and the only reason for this is, as you rightly pointed out, is pure liquidity.
Namaste Dharmesh ji, a very warm welcome to you, sir, and of course festive greetings for Ganesh Chaturthi to you, the entire team at Cholamandalam Securities, and of course everyone at home. Dharmesh ji, smart investors such as you hunt for pain in a market or a segment that has corrected, and I believe PSUs have now come into a zone where buying levels are very attractive after maybe a 20, 25, 30, in some cases a 35% correction in prices. Across the board, maybe one or two PSUs that catch your fancy. They may not have come down to juicy levels, which obviously long-term investors like you prefer, but a couple of names which our viewers and investors can keep an eye on and maybe start a sip and buy lower as well.
नमस्कार साहिल जी, गणेश चतुर्थी की आपको, घर में सभी को, साक्षी और सभी दर्शकों को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। देखिए, ये पीरियड तो काफ़ी ऑस्पिशियस चल रहा है और यहाँ पे जैसा आपने बताया कि PSUs have corrected quite a lot. So, but again, even after this correction, that the extent of correction is not to that extent where it becomes a compelling buy. It's a comforting, emotionally or sentimentally, it's a comforting zone where you could think of initiating a buy. The caveat is if you are trying to hold it for at least 3 years, 2 to 3 years, if that period of horizon you have, and we have seen the order flows coming into this space from the government consistently, and the rerouting of order from outside companies to the domestic companies is the trend which is we all have seen for the last 1.5 years. It's continuing with more aggression. So there, I think railway infra again merits a good attention, and defense stocks. So needless to say that because the type of order which HAL has got, they are highly margin accretive kind of an order. Their margins are likely to go more than 30-32% on an operating level. With this aircraft engines which they would be designing. At the same time, there are multiple aircrafts which they would be delivering in the fourth quarter. So HAL from the defense space along with BEL and DCX is one company which we have initiating companies on. There remains a good buy. From the railway infra space, I think RVNL, Aircon International merits a good buy. So these are two stocks which we are keeping an eye on. But Shailji, to be very honest with you, as far as deployment of fresh money is concerned, I prefer to leave 10 or 15% on the table if the 100% kind of a rally has to happen, rather than jumping right now and be prepared to go down first 30% and then start the journey. So that tax becomes more taller. So ideally, significant or sizable investments will happen only after Diwali. Till that time, I would like to see this trading market play out.
Okay, got it. Dharmesh ji, we've also seen a sharp move coming in on FMCG space as of yesterday. We've seen, how big players like HUL have started to perform after a long haul. How are you looking at the opportunities within this space? Do you think that if somebody still has the bandwidth to invest in this current setup, like you're saying, that we could be volatile and there could be some pressure, will it be better to hedge one's portfolio with these heavyweight FMCG players like HUL or ITC or many others which have started to perform within the mid caps or second rung basket like Dabur Marico as well?
Yeah, definitely, Sakshi. I mean, if you, as a compulsive trader or an investor, to take advantage of this couple of months kind of a period where the sentiment does look like positive. Monsoon has been good, as has been said. But my own take on the monsoon is quite different from what the general perception in the market is, because the dealer checks which we did in most of the states, what we got to know is flooding has created some damage out there. So there the per capita income has gone down. And there are still places which is seeing a dry spell. So the monsoon has not been to that extent. Irrigation has been quite good in states like Punjab, Haryana, and also they remain unaffected. Having said that, but since we all are talking about liquidity and which has been chasing this news flow kind of a market, there I do think there is a scope of 5 to 7% kind of a further upside traction in FMCG space. And stocks you have already highlighted. I mean, HUL and ITC remains the topic out there, followed by a Britannia National Layer. So these are the four counters which I think will merit attention into this going into the festive season from the FMCG space. What we are avoiding as of now is the likes of say a Dower or a Jyoti Lab, and those companies we are avoiding right now.
Fair point. This is, of course, the first steps of a rally, and these are again tentative times. We really don't know how a lot of macro things might pan out and might cap the rally. Dharmesh ji, the anti-cancer drugs business got a boost from the GST Council. The taxes have been cut to 5% from 12%. Any favorites in this space that you think might show a deeper traction or a higher price in the coming days?
Actually, I mean, there are 2, 3 points to this. First, it is a tax cut, so nothing goes to the company. Secondly, it's a medicine. So by first place is nobody should be required to take medicines. Having said that, so I mean, you won't be consuming more pills just because there is a price reduction. What it gives is a advantage to domestic companies, diet formulation companies, when it compared to imported company. But here, if you do a deep dive, I mean, the people who buy imported drugs, they continue to buy so. There won't be any change in their behavioral pattern just because 7% cheaper domestic company formulations are there. They are anyways far cheaper than what is being imported, because highly sensitive or let's say specialized drugs like for oncology or cardiology, nephrology, things like that. There's a huge price differential in the medicines which has been prescribed, and the people who go for imported, they will continue to do so. I think it's more of to do with sentiment kind of a base. We may see some price traction happening in the whole host of companies, 6, 7 are there, which will be benefiting from this tax reduction. But it is to that. I don't think anything is going to materialize on the profitability or revenue part, not even 50 basis point or 1% also.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the pre-open is upon us. It's a mild back foot on the Nifty. This will, of course, improve down 44 at 24,886. Most likely, we will recoup these losses. Now, Bajaj Finserv, this is a stock that we've been following for the past 2 weeks. 22 rupees higher, 1883. This is a record high, and this is the brush that is coming in from the Bajaj housing IPO that is up for subscription and open. Reliance, a strong move, 14 rupees higher, 2938. What is HDFC Bank doing? 2 rupees higher, 1648. Infosys and TCS are on the back foot, but they will improve. Infosys 19 rupees lower, TCS 40 rupees lower. This will improve. How about ICICI and Axis? Two very strong reports coming in. A rupee higher on ICICI and 9 rupees higher on Axis Bank, 1149. A quick one on how insurance stocks are doing. Okay, let me give you the good news first. Bikaji Foods is 9% higher, 910. This is the cut in the GST that's impacting positively. GMR Infra, which is raising its stake by 10 percentage points in the Delhi airport, is up 4% at 94.5. Suzlon, marked by Sakshi, an important development on order win, 1.8% higher, 75.6. What else is buzzing in gains? Okay, these are the usual names that we have. Oracle Financial Services 4.8% higher. Its parent in the US has come out with a stunning set of numbers. I want to see what stocks such as insurance plays are doing. You have ICICI Lombard flat at 2232. HDFC Life, we haven't had a tick as yet. Let's look at them in a bit of detail. The Nifty is back in the green, ladies and gentlemen, up 61 points at about 25,000. That's a very, very big relief. You need to get 25 back with you. What else is moving? There aren't any quotes coming in on the insurance plays, but across the board, all 10 index stocks amongst the heavyweight space, ladies and gentlemen, are in the green. A very quick one as far as the FNO space is concerned, and then we'll get back to Dharmesh ji. In terms of gainers, let us see the ones that are shining brightly. This is Oracle Finance 4%, GMR we've marked, Hero Motors 2% higher, Abbott India, this is the pharma space doing good, 1.9, Aurobindo 0.5% higher. Nothing much of interest. We'll wait for the markets to settle down before we get back into the immediate sector. This is coming to you, Dharmesh. Anything that attracts you in the mid cap and the small cap space at current levels?
Again, I mean, mid cap and small cap today, sentimentally it will be a day of pharma. So I think Aurobindo Pharma and Natco Pharma, which we have highlighted earlier as well, looks attractive. Even Aster DM, I think there should be some traction. So hospital pharma chain should be today's trading day from today's perspective. So for just for days play or a couple of days play, one can dabble into these stocks.
Okay. Let's look at some more counters which are reacting to news. Hero MotoCorp, it's up by over 2%. This is after Aether Energy, the associate company, has filed draft red herring prospectus. So you are seeing some uptick on that one. And then let's also look at how Tata Power is reacting. It started solar cells production in its Tamil Nadu plant. It's up by over 1% in trade today. Remember, Ahluwalia contracts, I marked, the company has bagged 2 orders worth 1,307 crores. This is from Signature Global Group, and you can see a sharp bout of momentum, 7.5% higher in trade for this one as well. Let's also look at how Dixon Technologies is reacting. The stock has been in momentum over the last 1 week, 10 days odd, and we have seen further that the company has onboarded HP India to manufacture notebooks, desktops, all-in-one PCs under IT hardware PLI 2.0. So 2.4% higher for this stock as well. Let's also look at IRB Infra. The company's August toll collections have been up 20% year on year. The stock is reacting again positively in trade today on that news flow too. Ease My Trip planners, remember you have to keep an eye out on. The board meeting is on September 13, and the company has indicated that they would be discussing a slew of acquisition opportunities as well. So you can actually see the stock up by about 3% odd. HG Infra, another stock that I had marked for you, it got a letter of award from Road Transport Ministry as well, and you can actually see a very sharp momentum being seen on HG Infra after that. It's almost a 5% up move that we actually see on HG Infra. This is for a project worth about 781 odd crore rupees as well. So those are some of the stocks that are actually looking up from the news list as well. Let's get Dharmesh ji back into the conversation. Dharmesh ji, how would you look at Suzlon, for instance? There is further momentum, continuing order flows that are coming in. More and more brokerage houses are initiating and upgrading the target prices for the stock. Is there more upside left after that 75 mark? We did see it come down from 80 odd levels, consolidate a bit. Will it be wise enough to take a dip into Suzlon at these levels, or should one just absolutely stay away?
No, Sakshi, we are staying away from, companies like Suzlon because I think the maximum upside has been captured. Still, just because of sentimental play, or it can still go to 90 rupees kind of a level, which is the buzz going around. So that kind of play is still there. But fundamentally, it's being the story with the entire market. What we are looking at, all this power play or renewable energy play. Now we are looking at the financing side of the spectrum, and that is where PFC, REC, any correction out there becomes a very good opportunity to trade this market as long as for next couple of months. So that is the space where we have been recommending buy rather than power producers or the ancillary plays or equipment makers for the power producers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have 25,000 back with us. The Nifty settled at 24,999. This is good. And you have a 210 point uptick on the Nifty Bank. 51,328 will be the opening quote. An equal 210 point uptick on the Nifty IT index, and good news, Nifty 500, the most talked about broadest index, is now settled better than the Nifty, 0.4% up. These are the stocks that acquire our attention. Two that need to be made brought to your attention: Oracle Financial Services, 3.4% higher, 11,300. Sakshi and I have been tracking this from 3,500 rupee levels when the first burst of move came in after a very strong set of numbers. Dixon Technologies tied up with HP to make laptops in India, 12,675, 2.2% higher. Across the board, there is a very sharp uptick happening in all IT stocks. Persistent, Coforge amongst the top gainers. I see Emphasis as well as Tata Technologies coming up in green. So these are the stocks that we will be looking forward to. We are waiting for Mr. Kunal Parar, Vice President for Technical Research for Choice Equities, to join us. Dharmesh ji, when you look at the entire IT space, is it now overstretched, or do we still have some move left in large cap IT? What would be your top pick?
Well, the large cap IT, I have a different opinion. I do think it's overstretched on the valuation and as well as the kind of run rate there. Profitability is showing. So large cap we are avoiding as of now. The call will be taken only post the US elections are there. Then the clarity will emerge about the taxation rate on the corporates, what is the taxation outlook there, and how the discretionary spending is going to pan out. I don't think this rate cut is going to have any impact on the, if it comes to, on the corporates to increase the discretionary spending. But there are few engineering and related companies which is into not in the precisely software space, but more to do with our product side of the business, which looks pretty attractive. Couple of the names you just took, like for example, Tata Technology looks pretty attractive to me on the valuation chart. If one is able to hold it for say 2-3 years, I do see it as a doubler from here. And the reason being, it's into a very niche kind of automobile related softwares, be it Internet of Things or the ADAS or other driver assistance systems which they have been enabling. 60% goes to the JLA itself. They have proven their technology. And now they have also had a tie-up with BMW. So 60 more companies worldwide which produce cars have tied up with Tata Technology. It has to play out in a big way. So that is one counter which looks attractive, along with KPIT technologies and persistent technology. So these are persistent systems. Sorry, these are the companies which looks attractive to me. If on the mid cap space, large cap, we are avoiding as of now.
Okay. Let's now welcome Mr. Kunal V. Parar on the show with us, Vice President Technical Research at Choice Equity Broking. Kunal, welcome. Good to have you with us. Tell us, as we are looking at about a 63 point of an uptick as pre-opening trades have settled right below the 25,000 mark at 24,999. How are you looking at the market setup for today, and any key stocks that you will be looking at?
Good morning. And the way market has been reacting since last 1 week, I'm saying good upside momentum in the index itself. The way market has been trading since last few days, and the way it took the support of its 50 days moving average for the upside momentum, we can say from the present level. Overall, 25,400, 25,500 would be there in upcoming trading session. And if we talk about Bank Nifty, then even Bank Nifty, I am looking a very good upside momentum from the present level. If we talk about the chart wise, then the way Bank Nifty has been trading, the way Bank Nifty took the support of its sideways momentum and 50 I think for the upside momentum would be there in the Bank Nifty up to the level of 51,800, and with breaks then 52,300 would be there. So yes, for both the index, my view is on the positive side only. Now we talk about stock side, and few stocks are there. First is RD Drugs. If we talk about this particular counter yesterday, it gave a close at 559, 560. So one can get into the stock at present level. It already took the support of its uh, support which was placed at 537. So one can get into the stock at present level 558 with the strict SL of 537. Now we talk about target size, and first target comes at 580, and if stock breaks this 580, then 620 will be there. And second target, second call which I'm looking, which looks good to me, it's Edelweiss. Right now it is trading at 117, and the way stock the way stock has been trading since last few days, I think we can see further upside momentum from the present level. One can get into the stock at present level with the strict SL of 108. Upper side, we can say the first target comes at 125, and if stock breaks this 125, then 132 would be there.
Right, welcome to you, Kunal. Two stocks for your attention. Bikaji Foods, will you chase the gap up? And of course, Pratap Snacks. After a terrible 5-6 months, the stock is showing signs of life after the cut in GST rates. These two stocks, please, what are the charts telling you?
Well, right now Bikaji is giving an good upside momentum. Means it is like going to give gap of opening only. Pre-opening is showing 895, and I'm not going to chase this pre-opening momentum. Let's get it settled down for the time being, and if stock sustain above its recent high, which is placed at 902. So if stock sustain above this 902, we can see a good upside momentum afterwards, and 960 and 1000 would be there. So yes, means I'm not going to chase this gap of momentum, but let it sustain for the time being, and afterwards if goes above 902, then only I'll be creating a new position for the counter.
Okay. Let's quickly ask you on Tata Motors as well. Kunal, what would you do? It seems to be opening as the, about % higher right after it's reduced the SUV prices for the festive season. How would you look at this out of counter?
Well, this particular stocks looks very good to me because if you look at the daily chart, weekly chart, monthly chart, it has been forming an upward edging channel formation. Only higher to higher bottom formations are there. It has been trading above all its long-term moving averages, and the portfolio, particularly in terms of SUV segments, it has a very strong portfolio, and we are planning to come up with new SUVs also, particularly in EVs and ICE. So yes, the way stock has been trading since last few days, and also took the support. So it's like one can go for long position at the present level at 1042 with the strict SL somewhere around 1000. If we talk about target size, then first target comes at 1070, which is like previous top, and if stock gives breakout of the 1070, then 1120 would be there. So yes, we can see good upside momentum in Tata Motors with strict SL of 1000.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, the battle on Tuesday is for 25,000 between bulls and bears, and that's where the Nifty has started its journey, now above 25,000. The Nifty Bank 178 points higher, and taking it away is the IT index 390 points higher, 42,315. Remember, the rate cut in the US market will be beneficial most to IT stocks. Let's see what's clicking in the green as far as index heavyweights are concerned. Infosys 22 rupees higher, 1916. TCS 15 rupees higher, 4463. How about Reliance, rupee 50 lower, 29.22. Let's look at the banks. ICICI almost 3 rupees higher, 12.38. Axis Bank, this is the stock to watch, 10 rupees higher, 11.80. Lever and ITC are mildly on the back foot, bit of profit booking happening. Let's get very quickly into the insurance space where there has disappointment coming in from the GST Council. NIACL, National Insurance Corporation of India, 1.9% lower. HDFC Life, 1.2% lower. Star Health, 0.6% lower. MedPlus Health Services, 0.3% lower. GIC Ray, 0.5% lower. Let's look at the top gainers. Let's look at positive news. Bikaji, 5% higher, 878. Oracle Financial Services, 3.5% higher, 11314. The pharma stocks are taking it away, and it's an amazing rally that's happening. Laurus 3% higher, JB Chemicals and Pharma 1.5% higher, Glenmark, Granules, Gland, Divi's Labs 1.5% higher. Let's look at Natco. It has a very strong anti-cancer profile, 1.3% higher, 1566. The going is good, ladies and gentlemen. Battle continues at 54 points higher on the Nifty. Let's look at the advanced decline ratio. It's a sea of green. All 19 indices that we track are deep in the green. The advanced decline ratio is phenomenal. 1800 shares in the green, 300 in the red. So that's 6:1 easily. And the top gaining index is the media index, 1.3% higher. Look at the advanced decline in Nifty Midcap, 1% higher. Out of 194 stocks are in the green, and in the NSE 500, 443 stocks are in the green. A very quick one coming to you, Kunal. Which is your top pick in the pharma space?
Well, the way now Pharma has been trading since last few days, few stocks are there which looks very good to me, and first stock is like Sun Pharma. The way stock is trading since last few days on an uncharted territory with strong support of 50 mm. On a smaller time frame, it has been forming a high top, high bottom formation. Also, right now it is trading at 1832 level. So it's good to get into the stock for the short term trading perspective. With strict stop loss somewhere around 1800. 1800 is the strong support for the time being in the counter, and right now it is trading at 1832. So if we talk about target size, the first target comes at 1860, and if stock gives this breakout, okay, then 1900 would be there. So this is like short term trading, but let's say stock gives a breakout of this 1900, which is like a hidden resistance for the counter, then one way rally we can see up to the level of 2100 as well. So yes, for Sun Pharma, it's like thumbs up.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as the views on the pharma space is concerned, and pharma is the top moving sector index after Nifty Media, which is up by 1.4%. Barring, I think now the financial services sector, rest all of the sectors are still up and about. Divi's, Apollo, Power Grid, Hero Moto, LTI Mindtree, Bharti Airtel are among the top movers, up over 1%, all of them. Within the F&O space, you have Oracle Financial Services sharply higher by 3.3% as the top mover. Along with it, Syngene, Coforge, Laurus Labs also remain as one of the top performers, some of the outperformers as well. Let's get Dharmesh into the conversation. Oracle Financial Services, how would you really look at the stock right now, Dharmesh, after that Q1 update has come in and that's pulled up the stock?
Yes, actually, we are not covering this company, so it won't be it won't be prudent for me to comment on it. So I haven't gone through the details of the parent company update.
Okay, and anything else in the IT space that you are looking at, mid-cap IT versus large cap, where would you continue to focus?
So actually the focus is definitely on the mid-cap IT space, that too from engineering, research and development space. So I took a few names just a couple of minutes back, like Tata Technologies, one topic out there, followed by KPIT and Persistent Systems. So these are the three companies which looks pretty attractive to me. Cyan DLM, if it corrects a bit, then we would be again looking at it in a constructive way.
Okay, Coforge is up by almost 4%. Persistent, Emphasis, L&T Technology Services, LTI, Mindtree, these stocks all remain above 1% higher each. Kunal, any mid-cap IT stock that you will track for gains today?
Yes, means if we talk about these counters, Coforge, Emphasis, Persistent, LTS, LTI, all the stocks are trading at a very good level. And one stock is there which looks very good to me. And no, I have been keeping watch on this stock since long term. Tata Techno is the way stock has been trading. Right now, stock is trading somewhere around 1090. It has been trading above its 50 and 100 mm. Stock has already formed its bottom. So one can get into the stock for medium term to long term perspective, but strict stop loss of 1040. If you talk about upper side target, and first target comes at 1150 and stock breaks this 1150, then one way rally would be there up to the level of 1280. So now this is the target for the short term to medium term, but yes, this stock looks very good to me for the long term perspective as well. So yes, for Tata Techno, it's thumbs up.
$9.22, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of a mild profit booking on Nifty 50, nothing to be worried about. It's a runaway rally on the Nifty 500. I can't remember the last time seeing a 112-point uptick on this broad an index, 23,616. Across the board, you see sectors moving up sharply. Let's again revisit the advanced decline ratio, which you have a strong move coming in favor of the bulls. Now much better. 1931 shares in the green, 270 in the red. This is improving. In the IT index, all 10 stocks are in the green. In the media index, all 10 stocks are in the green. In the pharma index, all 20 stocks are in the green. So this is how it's moving. In the PSU banking setup, all 11 stocks are in the green. So a sharp rally happening, and I believe it's in the PSUs that a lot of bottom fishing is happening. A very quick one, Kunal, Ireda, 4.8% higher, 234, actually 5% higher. A quick view on this one, please.
Well, yes, it is trading at 234, and it is taking a support of its previous top. Now it has become a previous, now it has become a good support. So yes, that's a clear-cut buy signal on the daily chart. One can get into the stock at 234. Now if we talk about SL side, then SL comes at the 220 level. Now if we talk about target size, then first target comes at 245, and if stock breaks these 245, then 265 would be there. Means we can say somewhere around good upside momentum up to the level of 12 to 13% as well. So yes, with the SL of 220, one can get into the stock.
Okay, got it. Let's get some more mid-cap names, since mid-cap 100 index is buzzing truly today, 1.1% higher. Several stocks here buzzing away. You have Suzlon, that's up 3.5%. You have SJVN, that's up 3.3%. You have Paytm, that's up over 3%. You have Max Healthcare, you have Mankind Pharma, RVNL from the railway space coming back. You have fertilizers and chemicals share also up 2% in trade. Several stocks within various sectors that are actually coming up in trade right now. Let's get a view on Paytm from Dharmesh ji. Dharmesh ji, how do you see the stock? Is there more steam left for those who want to still take a bet, bet on Paytm?
It was actually a clear avoid from our end because of too many moving parts out there and too many permutations and combinations still happening out there. So it has become more of a punt now rather than a fundamental play on the business verticals which the company is left with. So we are completely avoiding this counter for Indian equities.
Okay, let's get Kunal also on the mid-cap basket and the small-cap basket. A lot of buzzing stocks here. Where are you keeping your focus, Kunal, right now?
Well, if we talk about this mid-cap basket, the way this index has been trading, not only this mid-cap, but if we talk about small cap as well, both the index are trading at a good level. Now, among this basket, few stocks are there which looks very good to me, and now First stock which looks very good to me, it's a Castrol India. Right now, Castrol India is trading at 265, and the way stock has been trading on a daily chart, it has already given a breakout of its recent top, trading above all its long-term moving average, and yesterday it took the support of its 50 MA as well. So yes, one can get into the stock at 264 level with the SL of 250. If we talk about target size, and we can see good upside momentum up to the level of 277 first target, which is the previous top as well. Now let's say if stock gives a breakout of its previous top, one way upside momentum there would be up to the level of 300. So again, we can see very good upside momentum in this counter for somewhere around 12 to 13% of upside momentum. So yes, it's a clear sign from my side.
Okay, so Castrol is the top pick from small cap space. Several other small cap counters that are buzzing are Olectra Green Tech after a long haul, 3% higher at 1574. You have Cochin Shipyard that's now buzzing, 2.5% higher at 1865. Beyond Cochin Shipyard, you also have some other defense players like HAL, which are also up by 1.5% after signing that 26,000 crore rupees contract with the Ministry of Defence. So keep an eye out on that too. Railway space is coming back. I had mentioned RVNL. Now Ircon International is also buzzing in trade, about 1.9% higher in trade for this stock too. Dharmesh ji, railway space, would you look at this space favorably with these bounces, or could this be just end and as a trap?
No, actually, I mean, this was discussed in the morning itself that railway infra is looking good from, say, 3 to 5 year kind of a perspective. The fresh money can be deployed, and these are the two stocks which were discussed about RVL and Incor International. So, but the only catch point is one should not be swayed by day-to-day movement of these counters. From here on, you should have a clear understanding that if you are buying these companies, you are holding it for, say, 3 to 5 years kind of a time frame. And the same is applicable for defense companies. So these two spaces are very good bet. Business-wise, things will improve, operating margins will improve, profitability, CAGR will improve much at a rapid pace. But we, have a clear horizon that you are holding it as an investment bet for long term.
Fair point. 928, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting better and better. On a daily basis, we mark a chart. Premier Energies, recently listed. Again, the top traded counter on Dalal Street. 429 crores have been traded. The counter is in the green, 1.76% higher. 1230. We will not be taking a technical view on this one. This is just too overstretched. Sakshi, I think it's going to be a day that belongs to PSUs, and the reason is very simple. We track 65 PSUs, my apologies, 88 PSUs, and out of 88 PSUs, just 7 of them are in the red, and it's the insurance plays, NIACL, GIC, RAIN, nothing to be worried about. Even here the losses are not much, but old world trader favorites are coming back. More strength coming into IREDA, 6.5% higher now. 238 is with the bulls. SGVN, Shipping Corporation of India, 3% higher. Bama Lorry, defense is making a comeback, 2.5% higher. On Cochin, Mazgaon, 2.2% higher. So it's a wave of money moving back into PSU stocks. Amongst the record highs, Inox Wind, 4% higher, 243. Suven Pharma, 1252, 3.86% higher. Again, Pharma dominates. United Spirits is something that I'd like to check. 1503, about a percent lower, but still a record high. Kunal, would you have a view on United Spirits?
Well, actually, right now stock is trading at 1500 level, height of higher bottom formation only, and above all its long-term moving averages. Not only this, stock has been trading in an uncharted territory. So from the FMCG counters, this counters may outperform the FMCG sectors right now, trading at 1500 level, and it's like a clear-cut signal for going for long at present level. If we talk about SL size and downside, the strong support comes at 1400, 51,450. The stock is trading at 1500. So if we take the equations of both of this level, then then first target level comes at 1540 and if stock breaks this, then 1600 would be the. However, these targets are only for short term perspective. But if we see at the larger degree time frame, then we can see a good upside momentum even up to the level of 1750 to 1800. So yes, one can get into the stock with strict SL of 1450.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as the liquor space is concerned. Let's again look at the Nifty next 50 spaces where further momentum can be seen. I think it's going to be railways, a lot of these counters coming in. IRFC now pulling up in trade as well, 1.5% higher. You have Havels within the consumer durable space that's continuing to buzz. Again, defense space, you have Bharat Electronics that's up by 1.1% as well. Let's look at some more interesting names. Adani Power, Tata Power, they are all buzzing in trade. So the power space seems to be coming back. PFC is also buzzing in trade. REC is buzzing in trade too. Let's get in a word from Dharmesh ji. Dharmesh ji, power space, power financiers, the erstwhile favorite stocks. How are you viewing some of the opportunities now?
It is actually, but they are a very good long-term investment bet because if you look at power producers, their stock prices moved quite high. I mean, they're discounting next 3 years of earning, be it JSW Energy, Tata Power, Adani Power, and all. They all are doing capacity expansion, and they are all timelines are being met. Whatever the announcements are there about the capacity being added, the good part is they are added as per the timelines. But if you look at say PFC and REC, for example, PFC. It has an ROE of more than 15-16%. It's available at 8-9% kind of PE multiple. And at the same time, it has a CAGR of more than 20% for the last 4-5 years. And it's going to multiply further as more and more funding would be needed by power generators. So fundamentally, I think there's a high margin of safety in these two stocks, though they have moved quite a bit from the 1 year time frame if you are looking at them. But I do think multiple re-rating should be there. So we have been recommending both the stocks to our clients. And again, the horizon should be more than 1 year to have a very good substantial upside. So we are looking at around 40% kind of upside for a 1 year time period in both PFC and RSC.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as the PFC and REC counters are concerned. I think the mid caps are further gaining momentum right here, 1.2% higher in trade. You are seeing now newer names catch and trade. You have Jubilant Foodworks that's up 2.2% as well. You also have stocks like Union Bank of India that's buzzing. A lot of these healthcare stocks clearly. You have Laurus Labs, which we've discussed. Fortis Healthcare that's buzzing in trade. Mankind Pharma that's up in trade as well. Max Healthcare that's up in trade. Let's get Kunal here. Kunal, healthcare stocks, particularly within the pharma basket, where would you place your bets?
Well, you just took one name, Max Healthcare. I have been keeping eye on this counter since last 3 to 4 days. Right now, stock is trading about its 50 MA. Not only this, stock has been trading in an broad and rising wedge formation on a daily chart. Even RSI is trending about 50. So it's clear. It's clear sign that the positive rhythm is there in the counter for good upside momentum. Not for March would be there in the counters. So right now stock is trading at 904. One can get into that level with the strict SL of 860. Now, if you talk about target size, the first target comes at 937. And if stock gives a breakout of its 937, then one way rally would be there up to the level of 980. So it's a clear sign on a daily time frame. So one can get into the stock.
Okay, the first 20 minutes have lapsed, and what is clearly emerging is that mid caps are ruling the roost, and one stock has to be highlighted, which is Paytm. For reasons still not known to me, it's the top traded counter on the NSE 500 and a very sharp breakout, 6% higher, 665. I'll request Kunal to give your view as far as Paytm is concerned. This is something that has done dramatically well, and Sakshi, this is if you remember the three down circuits that we had seen when the stock crashed to 350 is the recouping of all that gap. I'll just send a daily chart to you, but at 664, this is something to be tracked. What are the charts telling you, Kunal?
Well, chart is giving a clear sign for an upside momentum, and after that Paytm Zomato deal, we are seeing some positive rhythm in the counter as well. Trading above, trading above its 50 MA and 100 MA. Not only this, stock is giving a breakout of its 4 to 5 days of trading and trading at 663 levels. From present level, we can see good upside momentum in the counter up to the level of 755. Now, why I'm giving this 755 as the first target? So you just mentioned that the 3 gap down opening, and this is the first target of that gap down opening lower range. Okay, so from the present level, we can see 755 is the first target, and it breaks, then 795 would be the second target. So yes, it's a clear cut bullish signal from the daily chart. And if you talk about SL side, then downside the strong support comes at 600 level. So the risk reward is also in a favor of long position only.
Okay, now this fall had started on 31st of January and at about 767 rupees, and it ended at 334 rupees on 16th of Feb. Lots of gap downs happened 2010, I remember distinctly, and then a fade out over time. I distinctly remember Sakshi and I discussing this around 450 rupees, that the worst was over, and now all those gaps have been filled. So this is a very positive development for long term shareholders, and it is accompanied by a burst of volume. So please keep this in mind. And of course, old world favorites are coming back, Sakshi. I can't remember the last time we discussed Indian hotels in great detail. Record high and bursting at its seams with gains, 676, 11 rupees higher. Kunal, what are the charts telling you on Indian hotels?
Well, if you pull this chart, Indian hotels right now trading at 677, trading in uncharted territory. It's giving a breakout of which ascending triangle formation, which is like a bullish reversal, bullish continuation formation as well, with above average volume activity. So from the if you take the clue from the daily chart, it is giving a clear sign of an upside momentum only. 677 right now, which is a stock is trading. So one can get into the stock at 677 with strict SL of 650. If we talk about target size, the first target comes in 690, and if stock breaks this 690, which is like hidden resistance as well for the counter as per the Fibonacci, extension, 720, 730 would be there. So yes, for short term, it's a clear buy signal on the daily chart with strict SL of 650.
Okay, I'll take you back to the pharma spaces, Kunal. Several of the mid-cap pharma names are actually at fresh highs. Ajanta Pharma at 3414, 3.5% higher, is at a fresh higher. Suven Pharmaceuticals 3.4% higher, is at a fresh high. You have Syngene also, which is up 1.7% at 910. That's also at a fresh high right now. Where would you continue to see the momentum continuing?
Well, if you look at this mid-cap and small cap pharma, recently this both the mid-cap and small cap pharma have been performing very well, or compared to its large cap pharma and compared to benchmark indexes as well. If you talk about Syngene right now, stock is trading at 911 level, and it is also given a breakout on a weekly chart, which was strong resistance was comes at 860, and stock is trading right now above that level. So further upside momentum would be there from the present level. Volume activity is also at attractive level. So one can get into the stock at present level with strict assets somewhere around 870. Target wise, first target would be at 960, and if stock gives a breakout of this 960, then 1000 as our final target would be there. So Syngene looks very good on a daily chart.
Okay. Got that. Well, Kunal, the one space that I'm consistently talking about also is the consumer durable space right ahead of the festive season. Today, Havells is the top mover in the index, 2.2% higher. Voltas is at a fresh high again in trade today, about a percent higher at 1834 odd levels. Crompton Greaves, V-Guard, Dixon Technologies, Blue Star, they're all buzzing. Where would you really look for further moves from here on?
Well, actually, consumer durables right now trading at 42,000, up by 1%, and all the stocks are performing very well on a daily chart. But few stocks are there which looks very good to me on a daily chart, and Titan is there, because Titan performed very well when it comes to festive season. And yes, we are approaching the Diwali, and and this month particularly we see a very good upside momentum, but in the Titan itself, right now Titan is trading at 3,700 level, up by 0.45% only. Overall, chart looks very attractive on a on a daily time frame. Stock has also taken the support of its 50 mm, and we have also seen a good breakout, and that resistance was at 3,615. So one can get into the stock with the strict as well of 3,600. If we talk about overside level, then first target comes at 3,840, and if stock breaks this 3,840, then further upside momentum would be up to the level of 4,000. So from the consumer durable, Titan looks very good.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now the trend is getting consolidated and strengthened. Look at Paytm. I'll request PCR to fire the chart that I have shared with Sakshi, and you will see how this move is getting better and better. The chart of Paytm is right there in front of you, and if you look at your left side of the frame, you will see a lot of empty spaces. These were the lower circuits that the counter had hit in January of 2024, and all that blank space is now filled up. That's a very, very positive development. Let's hope some good news is on the way, but 7% higher, 670 for you, and the volume gets better and better on Paytm. Now also look at Suprajit Engineering. This is a breakout that has happened on the counter in terms of volume and percentage change. The daily volume in the first half an hour of trade has already exceeded yesterday's volume, and the price is up 6.57%. Look at the swing trade here, Kunal. What are the charts of Suprajit Engineering telling you?
Well, SLG, right now stock is trading at 539 above its 50 mm. Yesterday, stock they were closed below this 50 mm, but right now stock is successfully trading above its 50 mm with above average volume. Not only this, stock is trying to give a breakout of its past 5 to 6 days of higher level. So it's like clear cut buy signal from the daily chart. Even if we talk about the RSI, and RSI is giving a positive divergence. So yes, one can get into the stock at 538 with the strict SL of yesterday's low. Yesterday's low is at 504 level. So let's keep it to 500 level. If we talk about target size, the first target comes at 575, and if stock gives breakout of this 575, which is previous top, we can see good upside momentum even up to the level of 640. So yes, this reward is in a favor of a long position only. So one can get into the stock with strict SL of 500.
Okay, and look at Pratap Snacks. This is something that needs to be watched. Now almost 5% higher at 852, and the reason why I am marking Pratap Snacks is just look at the volume on this one. Pratap has also matched yesterday's total volume, and at the moment this is driven both by a very strong tailwind coming in from the government, and you see a volume of 4,64,000 shares. Yesterday's volume was just 1,33,000. So very strong price and volume breakout at a time when the stock has corrected from 1433 rupees to a low of 806. Very quickly now, Kunal, what are the charts of Pratap telling you?
Well, right now stock is trading at 847 and it made a high at 877, exactly where the 50 MA comes. So, I would say please avoid this stock as of now, because stock is facing strong resistance of this 50 MA. Not only this downward falling trend line is also acting as a strong resistance for the counter. So let's say if stock sustain above its 880 level, it means above its 50 MA, then only we can say for going for a long position only.
Okay, got it. You know what else is picking up pace is Bharti Airtel within the Nifty, 1.8% higher in trade now. Kunal, how are you looking at the charts of Bharti Airtel at 1570? Can one still take a bet here?
Well, right now stock is trading at 1570, and in yesterday's trading session, it's you can see that the stock form bullish Marabou candlesticks along with PLC line candlesticks formation also on a daily on a smaller time frame. So yes, it's a clear cut bullish reversal signal on a smaller time frame. Right now stock is trading at 1570. We will keep SL at 1540 level only. Upper side target, first target comes at 1610, and if stock gives a breakout of this 1610, then further upside momentum would be up to the level of 1650. So yes, it's a bullish signal on a daily chart.
Bullish signal on the daily charts as far as Bharti Airtel is concerned. Another pocket that I wanted you to focus on is the NBFC space also, Kunal. And we'll look at a few stocks which are buzzing today. Indostar Capital Finance, you have Repco Home Finance, Poonawalla FinCorp, MOFSL, you have even Geojit Financial Services, Geo Financial Services, Edelweiss you had mentioned as well. So one is the capital markets related broking stocks and one is the financing names, especially the housing finance names. These two pockets, two of your favorite stocks from within these two pockets.
Well, Bajaj Housing Finance IQ is going on right now, and based
Yeah.
on this, we are seeing good spark in housing finance sector right now. If we talk about PNB, LIC, and all, they are performing very well. But if I have to make a selection, then I'll make a selection on right now. LIC Housing Finance stock is trading at 700 level. If you talk about its daily chart, then right now stock is trading with 50 mm. Not only this, stock has also given a breakout of its in a recent top, which was placed at 690. And in yesterday's trading session, stock for so hammer candlesticks formation also on.
We lost your voice. Yeah.
Let's look
Yes,
at
now we can hear you.
So one can get into the stock at 698 level with strict SL of 680. Upper side first target comes at 725, and if stock gives a breakout of the 725, then further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 760.
Okay, 850 ladies and 950 ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be some option led selling and profit booking that has happened on both indices from a high of 51,300 on the bank nifty. We have 51,000. Now nothing to be worried about, because somewhere like 51,000 and 50,950, there are two very major support levels for the bank nifty. This is most likely you will see being held. It's the monthly pivot at 50,960. Let's hope it's tested, and that will again provide a lot of strength for the bank nifty on its way up. And as usual, there was a major weekly pivot at 25,000 that provided a major resistance to the up move, not to mention the option selling. We will just see how the markets navigate this, but a strong show coming into the profit selling part of both these indices. Be that as it may, there is absolutely no let up in the kind of enthusiasm that we see on the broader markets. Look at the advanced decline ratio again, same 1800 stocks in the green, 430 in the red. Now mild profit booking on Nifty Bank, therefore it's just 0.1% in the red, but the small cap and the mid cap indices taking it away. Nifty mid cap up 1%, Nifty small cap up 0.9%. That is how markets are moving. And let's look at now outperformers that are there based on volume, and absolutely a strong show coming in from Paytm, which we've marked. Look at how DCM Shriram Industries is moving. This is at 202 rupees, 6% higher, and a very strong breakout happening on price and volume. And I'd like to mark another chemical company again called Ether Industries, AETHER. There is a volume breakout. The counter was up 5% today, as also about 4% yesterday. I'll request Kunal to take a look at Ether Industries. This is now trading at 1002. Kunal, would you have a view on this one?
Yes, LG, stock in yesterday's trading session, stock has given strong breakout of its strong resistance, which was placed as 950. On a weekly chart, on a daily chart, on a monthly chart, stock faced strong resistance of the same, and right now stock is trading above this level 950. So it's like clear cut buy signal on a daily chart. One can get into the stock at 995 with a strict SL for 950. Now, the way stock is going to break out with above average volume of this particular level, further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 1077, and if stock gives a breakout of this 1077, then 1200 would be there. So the way stock has given a breakout, it's like we can see a good rally in the meantime.
Okay, got it. Well, I had asked you, Kunal, on Bharti Airtel. Now even Vodafone Idea is picking up pace within the FNO pack, at least 3.1% higher for this one. How would you look at Vodafone? It's been seeing some pressure built up of late. How are you looking at this counter, and what is your advice?
Well, my advice is to go for long at present level with strict SL. With a strict SL of 12 rupees 50 paisa. Right now stock is trading at 13.63 level. Upside momentum would be there up to the level of 15 rupees, and if stock gives a breakout of this 15 level, then 16.50 would be there.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as Vodafone Idea is concerned right now. The stock is buzzing in trade as far as the FNO space is concerned. Let's again look at what other pockets. In fact, there are some pockets that have actually slipped into the red within the sectors. So you have financial services that were already down. You have the Nifty Bank that slipped into the red, 0.1% lower in trade. So the private banks, PSU banks, all three constituents have actually slipped lower, and you can actually see the Nifty Bank now trading at the low point of the day. It's definitely come off the high point. What else is under pressure? Autos and even the oil and gas is now into the red. The Nifty itself has slipped lower, 0.06% lower now. 14 points cut can actually be seen on the Nifty, 24,920 odd levels for the Nifty right now. How are you looking at this volatile turn, Kunal, and what would you say? Both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank now in the red?
No doubt, both the index right now is trading in the red, after giving a positive momentum. But my view is to go for long only. Right now, spot Nifty is trading at 24,917, and Bank Nifty spot is trading at 51,000. But both the index has already taken a support of its previous bottom, so we can see a good upside momentum that we can see during an upcoming trading session. So yes, if you get a chance to get into this, both the index now, I think yes, it's a long bullish indication only. From the present level, we can see 25,400 would be there, and for Bank Nifty, now 51,800 would be there.
$9.55, ladies and gentlemen. This is a time to sort of start wrapping. So the first half an hour has been met with selling pressure. That is not, how should I say, anything to be worried about. I think the battle remains at 24,950, 24,990, 925,000 for the Nifty. I have a feeling we'll close in strong positive territory. Yesterday's 500-point uptick on the Bank Nifty has been met with selling pressure because it hit 51,000 there abouts, and you saw some option selling coming in. But there is absolutely no stopping cash counters. There is no stopping momentum on the broader space. Hotels are doing well. We started with Indian hotels. I track 4 plus 4 plus 4, 19 hotels, my apologies, 16 hotels at business today, and all 16 of them are in the green. Orient Hotels, a Taj company, a Tata company, 6% higher. Taj GVK 3% higher. Indian Hotels 2% higher. PSUs are back and back in strength. Ireda, SGVN, Fact, Bama Lorry up all between 2-2.5%. Of course, there are losses coming in on the oil PSUs. ONGC down 0.5%, Oil India down 2%, NIACL down 2.6%. This is all news led, and where is momentum coming in? It's the usual suspects. Joining them today, Paytm, the top traded counter, now 7.5% higher. Please remember the chart that I have sent you. This is a very strong move coming in. Suzlon is 4% higher. This is the order flow that is coming in. You have Mazgaon 1% higher, Axis Bank 1.25% higher, and of course strong moves coming into the entire wind energy space. Inox Wind 3.5% higher, 242. Sakshi, what are you watching?
I think Irida is one counter where we should be keeping a keen eye out on. It's now up over 6% in trade right now. Very strong move coming in on this one, 237. It's at the high point of the day as well. Kunal, Irida for you at 6.5% uptick. Would you chase the momentum here?
Yes, definitely. I'll chase the momentum right now at trading at 237, 236 with a strict SL of 220. And the way stock has taken a support of its previous top, I think further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 265, and if it breaks 265, then further upside momentum would be there up to the level of 280. So yes, I'll chase the momentum with strict SL of 220.
Okay, got it. Thanks a lot, Kunal, for being with us on this morning edition. We'll start wrapping up the trade now, viewers. For all of you, in the morning 1 hour of trade, you've actually seen the Nifty, first moving up, opening with a higher, and then now slipping into the red territory. You can actually see it's the mid and the small caps that are holding up still. Media and the pharma indices, IT spaces, consumer durables. These are the pockets that are actually holding up in trade. Divis, Bharti Airtel, Power Grid, Axis Bank, LTI, Maitri and Tata Consumer Products remain as the top movers on the Nifty right now. On the lower side, you have stocks like HDFC Life, SBI Life, both slipping. Bajaj Finserv and Bajaj Finance also now under pressure. Shriram Finance, M&M, State Bank of India also under pressure. Top movers in the F&O space include stocks like Vodafone Idea, that's up by 3.7%. Coforge, Laurus Labs also moves up in trade along with Divis Laboratories. On the lower side, you do have stocks again with the Bajaj Twins now lower in trade. Vedanta also, SBI Life and HDFC Life also lower in trade as of now. We'll wind up at that, but do stay tuned. We'll continue to track the market momentum throughout the course of the day for you. So stay tuned. There's a lot more coming up on your screens on Business Today.
Hello and welcome to Business Today Television. I'm Siddharth Zarabi and you're watching Easynomics. On the show today, joining me is Sonal Verma, the Managing Director and Chief Economist, India and Asia ex-Japan of Nomura. Welcome to the show, Sonal. Very good to have you with us, especially after a rather interesting report, your Asia special report earlier this month, which says that the RBI is set to pivot on its monetary policy. Tell us, why do you